What up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Funboxing with Will. I'm your host, Will, with H2O Co. Film and Photo, and today we're going to be doing another EDC review of a knife that I heard about last year. I'm pretty sure it came out in the beginning of 2021, and it's a pretty interesting knife considering the maker that it comes from. It is a case knives called the Marilla. So let's get into that review. Alrighty guys, and we're back now. Before we get over to the top-down view, I just want to do what I always do and just thank all of you who've come to this channel to check out the information that I put out on these reviews. I do a lot of tech reviews, and right now I'm currently trying to build up my EDC knife list, those reviews a little bit more. So the next couple of videos I'm going to be doing are just going to be strictly knife reviews. But I am going to be going back and forth between knife reviews and tech reviews. So again, if you found any of this information at all informative, or if you like any of this kind of content, please hit that like and subscribe button and go ahead and turn on those notifications so that you get notified when I put out new content. Every one of you guys checking these videos out, it's not a lot to you. It's a couple clicks to you guys, but to me it means a lot. I'm getting really close to having 1,000 subscribers, which is an exciting time for me. I've been doing this for about 3 years now. So without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and get over to the top-down setup and check out this knife, the Case Marilla. Let's check it out. Alrighty guys, now that we're over here at the top-down view, we can get a better look at this Case Marilla. Now first off, for those of you who aren't familiar with Case knives, Case has been around for a very long time. I want to say that they've been around for over 100 years, and if not, they've been around really close to 100 years. Traditionally, they manufacture more of a slip joint type non-locking style knife. So for me, seeing them go out of their comfort zone, I guess, even though basically what they're doing is copying all of the other popular designs at the time period right now. Flippers and manual flippers are a real big thing at the current time in the market. So to see them to step out of their own comfort zone a little bit and try to make something that fits with the needs of the people is just an amazing thing to me. I think it's great. And venturing into a new style of knife, you're bound to have some hiccups along the way. You know, there's some things that you're not going to get right the very first time. And as far as I'm aware, this is their first venture into a flipper. This is the Case Marilla. I believe it came out at the end of 2021 or maybe the beginning of 2022. I can't remember. I paid around $135 US for this blade, and I can't say that I'm super disappointed in it. For the money, I think it's pretty good value. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that they were really smart and they put in S35 VN steel into this knife. Out of my top 5 favorite steels, S35 VN is a really good one. They tend to be very, depending on whether or not the company making it gets the heat treat right, it tends to be a very durable, very corrosion resistant, tough steel that has a moderately good edge retention. So you're not going to have to sharpen this knife every week. The edge will last a while. It's less likely to rust on you. There's just a bunch of benefits to having S35 VN steel in a knife, especially when you look at other knives that might, blade steels that might not be so well-rounded. So that was a huge plus. The body is made from an aluminum body, and the anodization job that they've done is flawless. It is totally uniformed across the entire knife. There's no dark spots. And I've had it for about 1.5 years now, I want to say, a year. I've been carrying it on and off, and I haven't yet to see any scratching or, you know, removal of the anodization so far. So that's pretty impressive to me. They have a G10 inlay here that I won't lie, it does kind of feel like cheap material, but I think that lends a lot to do with the fact that this is an aluminum body and it's just so lightweight. The knife comes in, I want to say, at 3.5 ounces, and so we'll check that out real quick right here. And yeah, we're right at 3.5 ounces, 3.505. So that's just barely over 3.5 ounces. And when you do the measurements, they say that the general rule is 1 inch of steel per ounce of weight to the knife. And they've kept pretty good with that. The closed length on this knife is going to be 4.5 inches. And then we're going to have a open length of 8 inches, I believe. So this is going to be a full size, medium to full size knife, right at 8 inches open, and then your cutting edge is coming in at 3.5 inches. So basically 3.5 inches of cutting edge and 3.5 ounces of weight. That's the general rule, and they did really good at keeping that rule. Also, the balance of the knife is pretty well set. If you're holding it in a traditional saber grip, the balance is basically right where you put your finger. The ergos on it are pretty good. They're not, you know, the best I've ever felt, but they're not bad. There's no hot spots in the knife. And I think a lot of that tends because gripping the knife, the bulbous part of the clip actually sticks out the back end of your hand. So I could see if you had a larger hand, maybe this would cause some issues, but for my hand size, it's pretty much perfect. And it's riding on caged bearings, so it's very fall shut. It's a very quick, snappy deployment and very fall shut blade. These are all some of the things that I think they did really well with this knife. Now getting into some of the things that I don't think they did all that great. And these are some things that I would love to see change in the knife. Mainly it's all to do with this pocket clip. The pocket clip on this is just garbage. And it's not the clip itself. The retention on the clip is good. The style of clip is fine. If you've seen my other videos, you know I love deep carry. So those all hit the mark for me. The thing that I really don't like about this knife is that they did not take the time to recess these screws in the pocket clip. Now, in combination with having non-recessed screws and the tension bar cutout being placed where it is on the outside of the scale as opposed to on the inside of the scale, this causes problems when putting this knife back in your pocket. If it doesn't get stuck here on this cutout for the retention, then it's gonna get stuck here on these screws. And I can't tell you how many times I went to go put this knife in my pocket thinking that it was fully seated in the pocket, and really in reality it was only about right there in the pocket, and I've almost lost this knife because of that, like 3 or 4 times. So if they were going to make any changes, I would definitely like to see those screws on that pocket clip recessed a little bit. That would make this a much more safe to carry in your pocket without the fear of losing the knife. But yeah, other than that, it's basically an all-around good knife. They've put in a over travel stop that doubles as a lock bar insert. As I don't know if you can see it there, but there's a little plate of steel that goes over, making sure that the aluminum is not coming in direct contact with the tang of the blade. So that's going to prevent wear on the aluminum over time that would basically mess up the lockup. It would change the way the blade locks up, and having that steel lock bar insert there stops that from happening. And there's no blade stick or lock stick really at all. Now there is kind of a double clutch here. As you can see, when you release the lock, it kind of wants to stop there. And you can just like push it down a little bit. It's nothing too serious. I don't know if that's a double detent or if it's just the way, I don't know. But I know that it's not anything that's problematic. I just did notice that there's like this little bit of a detent stop there once you deploy the right about there where it hangs up a little bit. But again, you can just give it a little wiggle and it'll fall shut. So overall, I think this is a great knife. I'm very excited to see Case step out of their comfort zone and do something that's a little bit more modern. And I'm hoping that with some feedback from their customers, they'll start to realize that, you know, something's got to be done with this pocket clip. They did make it reversible, so it is a left-hand carry pocket clip as well, left or right-hand carry, which again is another plus for the knife. So all in all, I think they did a really good job. I think they did an excellent job on this knife for their first venture into a modern flipper. And I think if they continue down this path, they're going to just get better and better. They're just going to have more room to improve until they're doing a great job. The blade geometry is pretty well done. It's a pretty even bezel all across on both sides. And it is a flat grind that comes up the blade about 3/4 of the way, leading to a pretty slicey profile. It's a pretty good EDC. I like the way that the tip of the blade is also, it's a drop point, so that when you're doing utilitarian cuts, you basically don't have to lift your wrist too high to get that material down and cut that material, which is also very, very convenient. So all in all, I would say this is a 7 out of 10. Design-wise, and yeah, it's definitely something that if you're in the market for a good knife and you have any kind of fondness for case, but you don't want a slip joint, this is an option for you that they produce now. So, and I believe it comes in multiple colors, and they even have a couple different blade shapes available as well. I'll go ahead and link the knife below in the description. And that's about it for today's review, guys. Let's get back over to that desktop view and finish up this video. Alrighty guys, so that's about it for the review today. Again, I just want to say thanks for stopping by and checking out my channel. And again, if you like any of this content, or if you found anything informative or just interesting, go ahead and consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Maybe turn on those bell notifications. Other than that, until next time guys, I will see you later. Stay safe, and above all, stay creative, my friends. We need more of that in this world. Till next time.
Talk to me nice, talk to me